This lesson is called Smiley Transformation. The essential question here is how can we use multiple translations to move a figure? So, a translation. When we slide a picture or a shape, it is called a translation. We can slide our pre-image either horizontal or vertical. This transformation that we have down here, this first one, is a horizontal translation to the left. Now note that this translation is really two parts. A horizontal translation left and a vertical translation down. What this shows us is that we can translate in any direction by just combining the translations. Now, when we rotate a picture or shape by a specific angle measurement about a specific point, it is called a rotation. Now, for right now, we will only rotate in 90-degree increments. We can see that by rotating a figure, we did not change its size, so the smiley faces are still congruent, but the orientation did change. The rotated smiley face is on its side now at this point. Now, when we reflect or flip a picture or shape across a line, it is called a reflection. Now, the distance from each point to the line is going to be the same. So here's an example of a reflection across the y-axis. The wink is on the left in the image instead of the right, like our original was. Now the x-axis, which would put the image, would be down here. The eye would be still on the same side, the wink would be on this side, and it'd be upside down if we flipped it over the x-axis. Now this one is called a dilation. Basically, this is getting bigger or smaller. So when we shrink or enlarge a picture or shape, it is called a dilation. Now with a dilation, we need what is known as a scale factor in order to dilate by, so we know how much we are going to shrink or enlarge. The scale factor is the ratio of the size of the image to the size of the pre-image. So a scale factor of 1/2 represents 1 unit on the image to 2 units on the pre-image, which is going to be a shrinking scale because it's going to make it smaller. Since the pre-image is bigger, we're going to make it smaller, so it's shrinking. Now, an enlarging scale would be a number greater than 1. And a shrinking scale would be numbers between 0 and 1. Now, with a dilation, remember, you're going to multiply by a certain number. So, if we were going the other way, you see that the smiley face is like 2 units, about 2.5 units wide for the small one, and the larger one is almost 5 units wide. So you take the 2.5 times 2, because it would be a scale factor of 2, and then you get the 5. Or in this case, we had the large one, which was 5, times the scale factor of 1/2, which gave us our 2.5. That's how dilations work. So now when we're looking at combining transformations, we have our original picture A, and I want to get a prime down here. So how am I going to do that? Well, you're going to end up combining your transformation. So what you're going to do right here is, this is where you start, is right here. You could put this in the box below the grid. And we get A prime by dilating by a shrinking factor scale. Because our original figure was bigger and it became smaller. So this would probably be that 1/2 factor that we talked about earlier. Then your next transformation is you've got that A prime now. This is our step 2 now. Now to get that over there upside down, how would I do that? Well, I could do a series of reflections that would get it over there. Or I could also just rotate. Rotate around the origin, right? Remember, the origin is right here at 0, 0. So to get this new shape, we rotated it around the origin. That way we could come back to our third shape, which is our final shape. We started with the first image, shrink it down, then rotated it to get our new image.